right? And I know you said different engine, and now you want this engine protected. So that's all we're going to do. So I've had to
Okay.
say, like, I'm not that person. I don't have certain licenses like that. We're just talking about a piece of it and protecting it while it still grows. Where
Okay.
they
So re-examine what is your goal, what is your priority, and it's protection, right? So that's the vein that you hit. What about you, Sharina? What are your thoughts on that? You're on mute.
I like Priscilla's approach 100% on just repeating back what they've already told us on you want to protect this money, right? So what you're letting me know is where it's at is not being protected. As well as, do you know the fees that are on this person who's managing your money? Do you know if they're diversifying you and what they're diversifying you in? So they'll be like, what? So like some Vivian, she was like, because she met with an advisor, remember I told you? And Power was trying to keep her on. So then when she met with me, she told me, why didn't they tell me about this product?
Mm-hmm.
And then I told her, because sometimes they can't offer you that product, but two, they don't make money off of you on this product. So
Right.
and so every time we answer the phone, they say like, oh, if you have a money manager on your account, you will be not seized, but like there's a word, I don't know the verbiage, but you'll get a fee if money is being handled by an advisor. And so that's kind of my approach is, do you know what fees that is on your account? And do you know how much they're getting paid on managing your money?
Okay. Okay, good. Maritza, do you have any thoughts on this? Because you are licensed on both sides of the house.
So when people say that, they're like, oh, well, I already have a financial advisor. They just say, well, I want to, talk to my financial advisor about this. I always say, absolutely. That's exactly what I would do. Most of my clients have multiple financial advisors, to be honest with you. So yeah, I mean, whatever makes you comfortable, I'm here to assist with the other piece. I mean, we don't all have the same products. I can tell you from the returns that I've seen for my clients. I mean, this is something that is not going to lead you in the wrong direction. So yeah, we can go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and set up an appointment for next time just to follow up on, to see if we can compare what the financial advisor told them, what they offered versus what I offered. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Good. Last but not least, Patty, if you can chime in, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. Patty, do you know what we're talking about here? She might be at work. All right, no worries. So listen, there's a couple of things that I want to make sure you guys understand. So first and foremost, we don't ever want to put ourselves in a position where we're trying to talk bad about a financial advisor, okay? Where we're trying to say, hey, hopped in the middle, no worries. So what we're talking about, Patty, is when a client is almost to the end of the road with you, and then they decide that, oh, you know what, I wanted to let you know I'm also talking to a financial advisor, right? So you guys know me, I like to tell a lot of stories. And so what I tell them is I say, listen, I'm glad that you're talking to a financial advisor, but let me tell you a little bit about, the difference between what they can do and what I can do, right? And I tell them, listen, somewhere down the line, I don't know where or I don't know why, financial advisors and insurance agents kind of became the Bloods and the Crips, right? They just hate each other. And I don't know why, right? Because financial advisors offer things that you do need in your portfolio, right? You do need a Roth product, right? Most of the time you do need an employer sponsored product, right? Because there's usually a match or a contribution, right? You do need something that can be a little bit more aggressive, and you do need something that can be a little bit more conservative. Here's what else you need. You need a 7702A account. Do you know what that is? No. Well, 7702A is a tax code that says if you grow money inside of a life insurance policy, it grows tax-free. There's no minimums, no maximums, and you can borrow against it. What? Yep, you need that and I can only do that, right? You also need a number, and in my opinion, as many as you can get, guaranteed income checks. right? One of your guaranteed income checks is going to come from Social Security. One of your guaranteed income checks could be a pension, could be VA benefits, could be disability, could be, 2 or 3 different pensions. And it should be a fixed index annuity. They cannot do that, right? But one of the things that I have been really, really trying to present to clients, especially at the very beginning, is at this particular slide. So this is why using our tools are so important, okay? Where's it at? Let me pull it up. Here. Crap. So the picture's not here, but I think you guys can see the verbiage, which is what I want you to see anyways. When I'm going through the presentation with them, okay, we get to a point where it says, what is a fixed index annuity? And I say an FIA is a financial instrument issued and backed by the insurance company that provides protection, growth, and retirement income. So what I'll do is I'll tell them time out. So Priscilla, at least for the sake of our presentation together, I want you to stop thinking about this 401k as an investment, because it's not. It's a retirement vehicle, right? This money or monies should be intended to create a check. Now you see the 401, the IRA money, yeah, or the stock money, yeah, those could be considered investments. You have to help your clients, guys, to understand there is a differentiation between investments and retirement income. See, because retirement income needs to be protected. Retirement income needs bonuses, right? Retirement income gets no fees. Retirement income creates guaranteed checks. However, your financial advisor doesn't create that. They create investment strategies. So I'm not here to tell you, client, that you should go with us as versus them. What I'm here to tell you is out of your portfolio, which based on our conversation looks like you have about $800,000, you need to decide how much of that $800,000 do you want to protect and dedicate towards your retirement check? Remember that guaranteed category? The rest you can let them play with because that's what they're going to do, right? Ultimately, they're speculators. Everything they do is speculative, right? We hope, we anticipate, we think, right? But if you want to say, Mario, I have $800,000, perfect. Based on, this is where when we fill out the FNA, the financial needs assessment, we give our recommendations, we call them SMART recommendations. So if somebody has $800,000, right? And they're kind of going back and forth between trying to figure out a financial advisor or an insurance agent. I say, well, sir, remember, we already said you're getting $2,200 from your Social Security. You're getting another $18 from a pension. Your wife gets a Social Security. That puts you at this amount. Your overhead is this amount. That means you have a shortfall of this amount, right? Yeah. So you have $800,000 to cover this amount with a guaranteed check. You need to do at least $400,000 on that roll. So my professional recommendation is you do no less than 400,000 because my goal is to guarantee your overhead and your checks forever. If you go less than 400,000, you won't have enough here guaranteed and protected to cover your nut. Does that make sense? Oh, okay. So what do you think I should do? I don't know. That's up to you. What I would say is don't go less than 400. You have 8. Maybe you do 6 guaranteed. So you give yourself a guaranteed cushion, right? Because there's guaranteed paychecks and then there's guaranteed play checks. Do you want a guaranteed paycheck and a play check? Yeah. Okay. So then do 400,000 guarantees your paycheck. 600,000 gives you a little bit of a play check. Then that additional 200, let them go and mess with it if you want, right? Because sometimes, guys, you're going to have somebody who just needs to scratch an itch. You're going to run into people who they're gamblers, man. It doesn't matter if they're a boomer. This boomer's playing bingo every Friday. You know what I mean? They're they're at the casino. And yes, they want to be, they want to be protected, but they have an itch they have to scratch. So let them. But you can't just be like, oh, well, they're really good too. Call me when you sue it. Like, you have to speak from a place where you help it to make sense. And so the last thing that I would do is I always give them this. Okay. I said, ultimately, let's call, an apple an apple, right? Let's compare apples to apples. So if you've ever heard me close, I always say, ultimately, what we're asking you to do is move your money from one pocket to another. And the two pockets that you have to choose from, one is a variable account, and there's multiple variable accounts, and the other's an indexed account, right? So on this side, you have high fees. This side, you have no fees. Can you make money here? Yes. Can you make money here? Yes. This one is taxed twice at death, right? Actually, there's a death tax and an inheritance tax, plus the income tax. If you have your money here in an insurance company, it's considered a death benefit, not a tax-free death benefit, but a death benefit nonetheless. So because it's a death benefit, you actually escape the death tax and the inheritance tax. Huh. Can you lose money there? Yes. Can you lose money with us? No. Is there a cap to growth? No. Cap to growth with us? No. By the way, that's probably one of the only things that financial advisors try to crap on when they talk about annuities. It's like, oh, they have caps. No, they don't. Not the ones we use with F&G. There's no caps. Bonus is available. No, they don't even never even heard of a bonus in the traditional financial world. We offer bonuses on top of market returns. And then this is the last one. Again, kind of going back to what I talked about at the beginning. True retirement plan, having an individual manage your investments is not a plan. It's a pool full of money, and his goal is to grow it. It's really it. What am I going to do with it? How much am I going to take? How long will it last? Is it guaranteed against loss? Right? What is taxes? It's just their job is to grow based on speculation. This is to say, take your 400,000. And based on their situation, maybe you're working for the next 4 years. So starting at year 4, you could take 10%. You live on 10% from year 4 to 10. That means 90% of your money is going to be growing over the next 10 years, right? And that's going to turn into this amount of income, which we know covers your shortfall from, what you're getting with Social Security and your pension and your benefits and your fixed overhead costs. So it's an actual plan. And the last thing that I tell them all the time is this, and most people laugh, is I say, guys, there's two things that we know about the United States as it compares to the world. Number one, we're the fattest country in the world. We're overweight. And number two, we are bad debt, man. So this tells me that when we, as Americans, are left to our own devices, we don't have self-control. So I want to make sure I put you in a position where I'm not going to leave you to your own devices. Yeah, I got 800,000 there. I can pick and choose when I want it. Yeah, because you'll be broke and working at Walmart in 20 years. I don't want that. I need to put you on a plan so that you're not left to your own devices, myself included, right? And so when these clients come to me, because I've had 2 already in January, do apps and then come back and say, oh, well, I'm working with a financial advisor as well. And, I'd like to see what he says. Here's the only last thing that I say. Sir, no problem. There's 2 things that I say. You need some posture when you say this, okay? Number one is this, sir, if I do have your permission to be pretty deliberate and frank with you, sure. Sir, when we work in this industry, the person who quotes you last usually has the upper hand, because it's the last person that you talk to. So with that being said, if it's a gentleman, I just say, sir, as a man of honor, on your word, just give me this one courtesy. Whatever he or she says to you, would you allow me to know what they quote you and allow me to try to overcome it? Right? Sure thing. Okay, that's all I ask. So I go through this information. I show them, actually I screenshotted that side by side and I send it to them. Every now and again, depending on the actual conversation, I said, this is ultimately what it comes down to. Okay. I'm going to give you a series of questions, and it's a yes or no. Based on how much we know you need to cover your shortage, ask the financial advisor, can they guarantee you will never lose again? It's yes or no. No, they can't. Okay. Ask your financial advisor, will you do this for 0 fees? No, they can't. Ask your financial advisor, do they offer bonuses on top of market returns? No, they can't. I can say yes to all three of those. So don't go to them, but get the 400,000, get your guaranteed paycheck. If you want to get a guaranteed play check, let's do 6. Give him 2 to play with if you need to scratch that itch. Does that make sense, guys? Awesome. Okay, before we're done, I'm going to stop the recording.